of southeast Texas to see a hard freeze. That means start wrapping up those pipes and covering up those plants. As for the day today, we've been dealing with some light rainfall throughout the morning, but that has not been causing any big problems. That's because actual air temperature sitting at 66 degrees. This would be a whole lot different if we were seeing this on Sunday morning when temperatures are going to be in the 20s. Instead, it's just a pesky light rain. You can see in our future track, if we put this in motion over the last hour, most of that activity already shifting off to the east. But if you're in Chambers County or Liberty County, moderate rain showers still going to be pushing through the area. None of these should be causing major hazards, but I'll tell you what, roads are going to be on the slick side. We're going to continue to see more scattered showers as we head through the afternoon, and all of these are ahead of a very weak cold front. You can see that front passing through the Dallas area right now. That's going to be bringing with it a continued chance for showers as we head into this afternoon. Future track is going to show those showers pushing through Houston, and it's going to continue to bring with it light rain. Now, I'm not forecasting any flood threat or severe threat, but it is going to be a bit on the pesky side. You'll notice Thursday and full, but then once we get to Friday night, all of our changes start to happen. Our Arctic front starts to push in late Friday, and that's going to take a dramatic drop in our temperatures. Starting on Saturday, we're going to see temperatures plummeting through the afternoon. That's going to drop us to near 25 degrees for Sunday morning. Here's the concern. Not only are we going to see temperatures well below freezing, but we're also forecasting the potential for freezing rain and sleet. When you hear that, you should be thinking ice. That means we are going to see very dangerous travel, not just here in Houston, but across the entire state. One thing to watch especially close is going to be Sunday's afternoon high temperature. Right now we have it right at freezing, but if that drops, we could be below freezing until Monday afternoon. Brittany, Andy, I've got much more on our polar plunge coming up.
Caroline, thank you. And
it's going to be a weekend to pay very close attention to the weather, especially as we get into Saturday afternoon. I think Saturday afternoon through Monday morning, that's going to be the big time Friday, and that's when we're going to see the temperatures crashing on Saturday. That 44 is a morning high temperature, which means as we head into Saturday afternoon, we're going to be dropping below freezing. That's also when we're anticipating the possibility of freezing rain and sleet, and that's going to be lingering into Sunday morning, which is why we are so concerned about the possibility of ice on the roads. Not only are we concerned about difficult travel, but also dangerously low temperatures with forecast lows 24 on Sunday, 20 on Monday, 26 on Tuesday. Every single one of those mornings, that's pipe bursting cold. This is why we're telling you to wrap those pipes, cover up your plants, and over the weekend also make sure you bring those pets inside. Okay, let's talk about our future track, because this is where we're going to see the potential for winter weather. Starting on Friday, we are expecting some cold rain here in Houston, and you'll notice that rain changes to ice in the Dallas area by Friday evening. That means if you are traveling to North Texas, make sure you get there by 8 p.m. on Friday. Otherwise, you will likely have to deal with ice on the roads. Now, once we get to early Saturday morning, that ice line has dropped all the way through Austin and San Antonio. This is why if you're traveling across the state this weekend, I would really try to be in place by midnight on Friday. As for us here in Southeast Texas, areas to our north and west can start to see that freezing line drop through as early as late Saturday morning. Now, through the day on Saturday, I think here in Houston, we're still going to be above freezing. That's why right now we're showing the possibility of cold rain during the day on Saturday in Houston, but to our north and to the west, it's likely that we'll already start to see some ice on the roads. Now, once we head into Saturday night, that freezing line is going to drop here in Houston, and that's going to allow for freezing rain and ice through the overnight period Saturday into Sunday. That means if you're here in Houston or Southeast Texas, I would recommend once we get to Saturday afternoon, if you've got the possibility, I would try to stay off the roads. It's going to be a bit messy into Sunday morning, and then by noon, I do expect all of that precipitation to move out. Now, here's the problem. Even if all of the rain, freezing rain and ice moves out by noon, temperatures are still going to be well below freezing. Take a look at our freeze. Sunday's high is 32 degrees. If we're able to get above freezing, this is going to be about 18 hours below freezing. If this high temperature drops at all, then we're going to have to wait until Monday for any of that ice to hopefully melt. This would be 44 hours below freezing. As for how much ice we're not expecting a tremendous amount, but even with 1/10 of an inch, that can cause serious travel problems. And once you get to 1/4 of an inch of ice, that can lead to power outages. This is why it's so important to keep checking up on this forecast. And unfortunately, this is not like what we saw last year. We're not forecasting any snow. This is a very shallow air mass, which is why we haven't seen any flooding concerns, and we haven't even seen lightning. Right now, some of the more moderate downpours, that's going to be south of I-10 across portions of Brazoria and Galveston County. You can see those showers just drifting their way quickly to the east, but it is going to keep the Gulf Freeway and 288 pretty soggy over the next hour. We're also continuing to track those light to moderate rain showers from Liberty County down through Chambers County. It looks like some of the heaviest of the showers starting to push out of our viewing area. Now, this isn't it when it comes to rainfall today. We're going to continue to monitor more light rain showers pushing in from the west, which means through the entire day today, I would certainly keep that umbrella handy. All of these rain showers coming ahead of a cold front. That cold front not going to do dramatic things to our temperatures, but it is going to be responsible for the light rain showers as we head through the rest of the day today and even into the day tomorrow. In fact, we're forecasting rainfall possible not just today, but also Thursday. Thing to note, all of these over the next few days, these are only going to be rain showers. Forecast highs are going to be in the lower to mid 70s. Once we get into the weekend, then we're going to see temperatures plummet, and that's going to bring the ice potential. But Andy, Brittany, I've got more on that polar plunge coming up.
All right, Caroline will check in
on power lines, and that's one of the reasons why we can see power go out when it comes to freezing rain. So let's talk about that future track, because as we go through the day on Friday, we're going to see that freezing line drop into the Dallas metro. That means if you're traveling up to North Texas, I would try to be there by Friday afternoon and evening. That's when we're going to start to see ice on the roads. We'll start to see some freezing rain possibility from Austin to San Antonio early Saturday morning. So once again, I would try to be in place for Austin and San Antonio by midnight on Friday. Here in Houston, we're going to start by seeing freezing rain possibility to our north and west during the afternoon. But then once we get into the evening, all of that is going to switch over to ice for the Houston metro. Because of this, I do think Sunday is going to be one of those days you should just plan on hunkering down. All of the ice moves out by 11 a.m., but we're only putting a forecast high on Sunday of 32 degrees. It's going to be extremely cold, and it's possible that that ice that falls on the road won't have an opportunity to melt until Monday afternoon. Because of this, we are going to be going to hope the power stays on.
Exactly.
And don't forget about the pets and the plants.
Pipes.
Yes,
Pipes.
A lot of preparations to make. Just definitely bring those pets inside.
Caroline, thank you.
Right, lasting through Monday morning. Now, when I say very cold, we're talking actual air temperature in the teens and low 20s. As for the wind chill, that's what it feels like when you factor in the wind. It can be as low as 5. That means through the day on Sunday, it's expected to be pretty miserable outside, and that's just because of the temperatures. You can see our daytime highs really start to drop off as we go into the day on Friday. Now watch this, low temperatures Sunday and Monday, going to be waking up in the lower to mid 20s. Now this is considered a hard freeze. When we say hard freeze, we mean a pipe bursting freeze, the type of freeze that can kill sensitive plants, which is why we're urging folks to make preparations this week ahead of the weekend. Regardless of if we see ice, these dangerous temperatures can have huge impacts. Lisa, coming up, I'm going to take us through the future track on how much ice we can expect.
A lot going on. Brown, rain off and on today, mild temps, but everyone's keeping their eyes on the weekend right now.
I mean, I don't think a lot of people are too concerned about our light rain,
Right.
but everybody is talking about those cold temperatures. And I really want to stress the cold temperatures because we're going to start it on Saturday afternoon. As we head Saturday afternoon, we're going to see by 4 o'clock, it's going to start to feel like freezing. Waking up on Sunday, if you're heading outside, single digits north and west of Houston. Here in Houston, it's going to be feeling like the teens. If you can stay inside on Sunday, I absolutely would. As we go through the day, it's only going to be feeling like the teens and the 20s. In fact, as we head Sunday night into Monday morning expected to be the coldest morning of the upcoming weekend. This is why we have an extreme cold watch. Waking up on Monday, single digits and teens is what it's going to feel like. This is why we're saying hard freeze. Bring your pets inside this weekend. Actual air temperature dangerously cold, even into Monday afternoon. Now, we're not just talking cold weather. We're also talking freezing rain potential, which means we will have the possibility of power outages and extremely hazardous travel. So let me show you this future track, not just for Houston, but the entire state, because it is a weekend. And if you're traveling, you need to travel smart. I'm saying make sure you know when to properly leave. As we go Friday through the day, that cold front dipping to the south, which means Dallas will start to see freezing rain by Friday night. If you're heading to Dallas, be in place by Friday afternoon. That freezing rain threat is going to be dropping through the state. Here in Houston by Saturday afternoon. We're going to see the potential of some freezing rain to our north and west by Saturday afternoon. At some point, that freezing line will drop through Houston, and we'll see our cold rain transition to freezing rain. That is going to bring our ice potential, especially so Saturday afternoon through Sunday morning. Now, forecast freezing rain potential, not going to show a tremendous amount here in Houston, but it is going to be enough that our roads are going to be slick, something to watch out for, especially if we're not able to get above freezing on Sunday. If we stay below freezing, then we ice. How much ice? What I want to say is we are so certain that it will be very cold.
Yeah.
Temperatures are going to be in the 20s and the teens. Okay. So Sunday is not going to be a pleasant day outside. Power outages, not out of the question. However, if we don't see as much freezing rain, a lot less likely that we would see power outages. Let me show you our future track, because the entire Texas Triangle, Houston to San Antonio and up to Dallas, going to be dealing with this winter weather. So starting on Friday, that Arctic front is going to start to push through the state. That's going to begin by first bringing with it a wintry mix to Dallas Friday by 6 p.m. That means if you're heading up to Dallas, try to get there by Friday afternoon. Starting on Saturday morning, this is when we'll start to see that freezing line drop further south. That means it's not out of the question that our far northern counties could start to see a little bit of sleet or freezing rain by Saturday morning. Here in the Houston area, it looks like most of the day on Saturday, we're still going to be above freezing, which means we would start by just seeing a cold rain. But as we head into the late afternoon, we'll start to see that transition as our temperatures begin to plummet. That means freezing rain and ice possible here starting as early as late Saturday afternoon. This would be the time, if you want to be extra cautious, that would be the time to start hunkering down. As we head Saturday night into Sunday, this is when we're going to see more moisture with cold temperatures in the 20s. This will likely bring ice for our morning commute, for a morning drive on Sunday. Sunday is one of those days where temperatures staying below freezing for most of the day, which means our roads are really going to struggle to improve. Now, thankfully, models have been suggesting less ice for the Houston area, but even just a glaze of ice to 1/10 of an inch for bridges and overpasses, those can become extremely dangerous. So please be careful out there and don't travel if you don't have to. Finally, the elephant in the room. What about snow? There's no way. We're not forecasting any snow here in Houston, but that's because the Arctic cold front, it's a shallow cold air mass. That means instead of having cold air all the way to the clouds, we're going to be seeing a pocket of warm air higher up in our atmosphere. So any snow will melt in the atmosphere and then refreeze, and that's why it falls as sleet or freezing rain, which is why instead of snowmen, we just have slippery roads. Of 20 degrees. That means you factor in the wind and it's going to be feeling like the single digits. Now, thankfully, Monday afternoon, we are expecting highs to get to about 40 degrees. That means any ice that didn't melt on Sunday will melt by Monday afternoon. However, don't uncover another hard freeze, lows in the lower to mid 20s, a cold start, but that's our last day of dealing with any of this winter weather in at least for all of next work week. You can see by the overnight time Tuesday, we're going to see temperatures well above freezing, highs even pushing the 50s. Okay, let's talk about the future track because we are going to be starting with ice across Houston, the possibility of scattered light, cold rain showers, but you'll notice up near Austin in the I-35 corridor from Dallas to Austin, they're going to be seeing moderate to heavy rain showers before the ice moves in. That means any of that pre-treatment of the roads we've been seeing, consider that washed away before the ice moves in. That's certainly not a good trend there. As we go Saturday afternoon into the evening, that's when we're going to see the transition from rain to ice by Sunday morning. We are expecting to see freezing rain here across the Houston area, and that's all going to be pushing out by lunchtime on Sunday. Now, we are going to be staying dry, but look at the freezing rain potential.